So on today's video, I'm going to show all of my current collection. Hey guys, it's Rich from Predator BP, and if you've been following the channel, you'll know that I recently got back into the hobby from a 3-year absence. And I thought it'd be cool today just to show my current humble collection. And it is a really humble collection, guys. As I said before, I just want to stay small. And I've managed to pick up some pretty cool animals along the way that I'm going to be working with. Not just breeding, but actually keeping and enjoying. And on today's video, I just want to show you all of them in one go. I know I've been doing videos here and there when I've picked different animals up, but I want to show the whole collection if that's all right with you. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it and start with number one. But also, how many do you think will be in shed? Because there's bound to be some in blue, right? You can never ever do one of these videos without a snake being in shed. Jump down in the comments and just take a guess before we start running through them. Anyway, let's get to looking at those beautiful animals. Okay, so as you can probably tell, this is a pastel, and what makes this boy more special is the fact that he's double het for hypo and clown, and he's the father of the eggs we've got currently in the incubator. So we've got 7 eggs from this boy and the spider double het hypo clown, and obviously we're trying to hit a hypo clown there. But you can see he's got that beautiful cross head stamp. Typical pastel. They used to be called pastel jungles because it messes up the pattern a bit. But overall just makes them more yellow. All the yellows are coming out there. And he's an awesome boy. Feeds really well. He's proven breeder now. And he was one of the snakes that just stayed with me when I came out the hobby and I created this boy, and it's nice to see now that in my first season back, I'm creating offspring with him. But yeah, there's my male pastel double het hypo clown. Let's go to one of my favorite eaters, and you might remember this snake came from Joe Tully at Tully's Outrageous Royals. He was kind enough to let me have this female. Oh, she's hissing at me. She's not usually like that. What's the matter, girl? But this is a clown. Clown female. I'm really looking forward to putting her to work next season. But what's beautiful about her, she's quite bright. I don't know if you notice. And she's blade-like. She's got very reduced pattern. She's a fantastic eater. She's been eating like an absolute Trojan. She bred for Joe, so she's been putting her weight back on. And look at that head stamp there. Beautiful. Yeah, she is something very different about her for just your normal standard clown. Very reduced pattern, more bright, quite a unique head stamp. I have no doubt that she's going to make visually stunning babies. Now, the idea with her at the moment is to put the Firefly Desert Ghost to her and try and produce some pastel, well, Firefly, double het, DG clown. You can tell I had to think there. Brain cogs just turning away at all the genes. But I love this female. She's awesome. She's nice and big. She's feeding strong. Can't wait. So checking out another female right here. This was one of my first purchases when I realised I was getting back into the hobby. Made the decision. And there was 2 I settled on from the same breeder. One that was the Batman. And the other one is this beautiful female here. She's another one who took a while to feed. She skipped a season, so she bred for the breeder the previous year in June. And I think she probably built up the follicles to go this year and obviously wasn't paired. So she went for a state of then just not feeding. Well, that's my guess anyway. But now she's feeding and feeding really well. So we have an enti yellow belly clown right here, if you hadn't guessed already. That beautiful cross head stamp that you get in clown when you put enti in there. And you probably can see how yellow she is. You can see the yellow belly is really at play. You know, which she's proven, which is good. And now I'm glad she's really packing on size. She's one of my biggest females. I don't know her actual weight. Be good to actually weigh her and see what she's sitting at, but she's definitely going to be like 2.5 kg, if not more. Now, the plan with her this year is probably that she's going to the Batman to try and get Enchi and Yellow Belly into the Batman project. I would really love to put the Hurricane Boy to her, but he's not ready yet. We'll see where he's at when we start pairing for next season and see what we can do, because I would love to, where he's possible Yellow Belly or Gravel and she's Yellow Belly, I would love to prove that part out, because if he's Gravel, we could have some highway clown combos with Hurricane in there and Enchi. That would be amazing. But she's a really, really nice girl. And glad to see she's feeding now and hopefully getting ready for next season. But a beautiful example of Enchi, a Yellow Belly, and Clown. Okay, so going over to another female here. You can probably see she's being really, really shy right now, but this is my Cinnamon Pied. Also came from Paul at New Forest Morphs. You can see she's got like almost an M there. She's got some really interesting dot pattern. Look at that big pattern right there. A little dot down there. She had trouble shedding actually earlier. I had to give her a bit of a bath. I think she's still got a little bit on her. She has, yeah, here on the neck. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work with her. But yeah, Cinnamon Pied. Got that beautiful, beautiful head. And she's another one who loves her food. Quite a big girl. And as yet, I'm not sure what we're doing with her next season, but probably the Batman will go to her to produce some double hets. And obviously we'll have Cinnamon in there, we'll have Spot Nose, we'll have Leopard. And I really want to get obviously Pied Clowns and combos later on. So she's going to be the key to that project, but we're going to leave her alone and we'll come back and we'll help with that little bit of stuck shed that we got on there. I'm encountering a few shedding problems here and there at the moment. Just where the temperatures have dropped here in the UK. I've got my nice big water bowl in there. I've switched them back onto cocoa, so I'll be able to wet that down more and just keep the humidity a little better, because you do have trouble during the colder months of the year, and we've just started coming out of all the hot weather that we've got. Let's move on to the next snake. Now, talking about shedding, this girl is deep in blue. It's always going to happen, right? Whenever you want to show your whole collection, you can't get away with showing snakes without at least one or two being in blue, and she is well in blue. I mean, look at those opaque eyes. I still think that there's something really beautiful about them when they're in blue. So this is the Enchi Cypress Het Cryptic. She's currently being paired to the Batman. She's the last pairing we're doing this year. She tends to lay in December, or she did for the previous breeder. So we're hoping to get some Kryptons and some crazy sort of Cypress combos out of this. We've obviously got Leopard in there, we've got Spot Nose in there, we've got Enchi in there. So it's going to be an interesting one if she decides to go. She's feeding really well. She's shown some of the behaviours, but I've yet to see a lock from the two of them. So I'll continue to pair. But he was doing all the right stuff and he was laying on top of her, and at one point their tails were together, but I couldn't see them because they were sort of coiled over. But I'm hoping that they're going to be compatible and match up. But yeah, I won't linger too long on this girl because she's deep in blue. Enchi Cypress Het Cryptic. Okay, I mentioned this female earlier. Oh, bless her. Look at her. She just looks so small now. This is my spider who's double het for Hypo Clown, who went to the Pastel double het Hypo Clown. And she's just continuing to put her weight back on. She got feeding really quick. Within 3 days of laying, she was feeding again. And she's already shed, believe it or not. So it shows that she's grown a bit. But you can see she's a shadow of her former self, trying to put all this weight back on. She was nice and thick and beautiful, beautiful example of what she is. Very, very healthy animal. I won't be pairing this girl again. She was part of that project that stayed with me in the time that I was out of the hobby. So I'm really hoping for a Hypo Clown. And hopefully this girl will give me that. But yeah, she's just going to be a pet from now on. But she is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. She glows. You can almost see the Het Hypo in her. Beautiful head stamp, and just thrives, absolutely thrives. So checking out another female now, and we've only just recently got this girl to take a meal. Now she came from Paul at New Forest Morphs. He was kind enough to let me have this beautiful female, and she is a Mojave, but she's 100% het for Ultramel. So you see all the beautiful floating alien heads there, and she has a bit of a glow to her. You can always tell Mojave when they're het for something because there's just something different about them, and she has that absolute glow. She has quite a big head as well, I noticed. I was saying to my son Marshall the other day, she's got quite a big head. Her head stands out, but she's nice and thick. She didn't like me too much. She hisses quite a lot, and she's one of those snakes who just took quite a while to settle in here, which is why I think it took me so long to get her feeding. A couple of weeks ago, I got her to take the prey and coil it, but she dropped it and then shed. So I think she just wasn't in the mood at that point. But a few nights ago, she took it and she swallowed it. And I was like, hallelujah, because we can start putting some size on you now, girl. We haven't really got a male ready to go to her at the moment. We've got the Ultramel het pied male, but he is far from ready. So plenty of time to build her up, plenty of time to work out how we're going to get some Mojave Ultramel combos from this girl. But yeah, she's an awesome, stunning example. Good body condition, nice and thick. And I just love that. I love those floating alien heads that Mojave does, and everything else that you can only really describe by looking at one with the tones. But there she is, Mojave 100% het Ultramel. And moving over to this boy, who is another one who's deep in blue, believe it or not, but still is glowing. This is the Firefly Desert Ghost male that I also got from Joe Tully at Tully's Outrageous Royals. And he is beautiful. But yeah, he's just starting to go into blue here by the looks of it. You can really see it in the flesh, but he is shining. What an awesome boy. He's another one who's only just taken one meal with me. Yeah, 1 meal so far. Bit of a picky feeder. But it's good to know that he is feeding. He's yet to be paired up yet, but I wonder when we start pairing him, will that spur him on a bit more to eat a bit more, as he'll be doing some work. But according to Joe, he's always been a little bit of a picky feeder. You just get them. And when you get them, they tend to be males. Well, that's what I've found anyway. But he's a stunning example of Firefly Desert Ghost. What fire does in Desert Ghost. Anything that helps Desert Ghost to be better is amazing. Because as you know, it brightens, it cleans. And when you get fire, also doing that in there as well. And you've got Pastel, which, you know, just lightens everything up. Be awesome to try and make some double hets with this boy, and obviously get more DG clown projects going. But yeah, there he is. As you can tell, he's a little bit like wary. He's a little bit of a wary boy, but he is stunning. Okay, he's taking a look at my other female that's just recently laid, because 2 females have laid here at Predator BP. So we took a look at the spider double het hypo clown, but here is the Leopard Pastel. And again, she only took a few days to start feeding again, and she was bang on it. So she's not looking quite her usual self with her thickness and everything. She's lost quite a bit. But she's getting back on track. Leopard Pastel. You might remember this girl. She came from a male that I had that I just loved the look of. That went to a friend of mine who bred him to another snake and produced her, and she's like a copy of the father, which is why I picked her up when I was coming out of the hobby. I wanted a back in, or an example of Leopard Pastel back in, because I thought it was a beautiful combo. Very simple. Now we've tried to use her to make hets. We put a banana enti pied to her, so we're hoping for some leopard banana 100% het pied combos. Get a nice male in there, and we can put him to our other 2 pied females that we've got later on down the track. That's what we're aiming for, but she is a beautiful example of the leopard gene in combination with other genes. It just shows why I love leopard so much. Okay, here's one of my absolute bangers. One of the 2 powerhouse males I have in my collection. And this is the Hurricane Pastel Spot Nose, possible yellow belly or gravel clown male. And look at the patterns on him. Look at those alien heads. Now, you know Hurricane usually makes what they call like the bodybuilder pose, the double biceps. But here, those alien heads are very reminiscent of Mojave, the way they're sort of singled out on their own with one dot inside, singular circles. But the way they're joined up and very, very busy is awesome. The black lining around them is astonishing. Typical pastel spot nose head right there. Look at all the black dots. This boy is feeding really, really well. I'm hoping he's going to be ready to go to some females maybe the beginning of next year. But he's going to have to pack on a bit more size. But he is astonishing. I just think he's an absolute powerhouse. I really want to get Hurricane into my clown projects ASAP. Hopefully he will be ready. There's something that tells me he's just going to thrive. By the way he's feeding and the way he's interacting and behaving, he's on it, you know. You just get these snakes that are just on it with their shedding, with their feeding, how they're confident with you, and you know they're just going to be on everything that they do in life. But there we go, guys. One of the best males in my collection, one of the most visually striking snakes I have. The Hurricane Pastel Spot Nose, possible yellow belly or gravel clown. Okay, if you like your sweets, you're going to love this boy. This is the chocolate pinstripe 100% het clown. Came from James and Kaz at Devonian Family Royals. They were kind enough to let me have this boy. Really appreciate them doing that, and they clearly produce quality because he looks amazing. You can see the chocolate tones to the coloration within the pinstripe, but you can see that chocolate has also widened the lines where the pinstripe would be. All this pattern has been widened out. He's got a really nice funky head stamp that joins on the back and breaks up a bit. He's an amazing boy. He came to me in such good condition. I love a snake when you pick them up. They're young, but they've got some thickness to them. But he was nice and relaxed, confident as well. He's settled in really well here. Haven't you, mate? Settled in well. Do you like it here? I think that might be a yes, guys, you know. Sniffing away at the phone. Going, what the hell is that? Chocolate pinstripe. 100% het clown. Can't wait to get working with him. Now, this boy here I'll probably take more photos of than anyone that goes onto Instagram. Oh, he's got shy all of a sudden. Look at how astonishing he is. And he's another one. Every time he sheds, he seems to get a bit brighter. It's really hard for you to see this guy in the flesh. But he is a Leopard Bamboo Orange Dream 100% het clown. And look at that head stamp, that donut head stamp with the blushing on. His patterns are incredible. Another, such a visually striking snake. I love bamboo. I know how overriding it is. I can't wait to do some bamboo clowns. But the fact that he's got OD in him, leopard, you know, leopard is one of my favorite genes. But we're going to get some astonishing clowns from him. It's incredible. Look at this dorsal stripe that runs down him. It's just mesmerizing every time I look at this snake. He's incredible. And he's a good boy. He's got that blushing, you know, where the head stamp joins to the back of the neck. Can you see how it's blushed out there? Can be a typical Orange Dream trait. Looking up at the camera. But yeah, he is stunning. Taking a look at this beautiful boy, another one from New Forest Morphs. Paul actually gave this one to my son as a gift, and Marshall's really quite besotted with him. And this is Ultramel, which you can probably tell, but he is 100% het pied. So he's our key to making some Ultramel pied combos, which I love. Saw them over at Paul's, and Paul really kind of made me fall in love with pieds while I was over at New Forest Morphs. They weren't one of my faves, but they kind of have made pied one of my faves now. Obviously looking to get pied into clown, and now looking to do Ultramel pieds too, and then unite those two projects at some point. But yeah, beautiful patterning. Another example of a different type of an albino gene. Look at the white lining that goes around the alien heads. And he's a stunning boy. Another textbook snake, you know those snakes that they come as hatchlings, but they're confident, they feed, Like, they just do everything instantly. You just have no problems with them. He almost needed no settling in period. He was on it straight away. Oh, I love that. Another textbook animal, another fantastic example from New Forest Morphs right there. And hopefully when he's big enough, I mean, he might go to the Mojave Het Ultramel, but we'll see what happens there. I'd like to get some more genes into that project. Rather than just creating Mojave Ultramels, I'd rather have some other stuff in there too, some other genes. Maybe Leopard, you know. Oh, the world's our oyster. Put a crash helmet on or something and protective padding, because this one, she's a little piston, all guns blazing. But there she is. How stunning is that? It's just another snake that every time she sheds, she seems to be getting better. Came from Joe Tully at Tully's Outrageous Royals. How many times can I say his name in this video today? I love Joe. I love the snakes that I got from him. Anything I've ever had from Joe over the years has been astonishing. Can you see her rearing up now? But look at this. So this is vanilla enti leopard, 100% het clown female. And that head stamp there is typical enti. Look, joining onto the back there. Got some blushing in the middle. It's almost diamond-like. But you can see what Vanilla's doing. This dripping pattern with leopard. Sides are incredible on this female. She likes her food too. As you can tell, she's eyeing up the camera now. Look, we've got that little jolting going on where she's getting a bit hyped up, getting ready for some action. So we won't linger too long, guys, because, you know, I've got to jump backwards if she shoots forwards. Because this girl is fire and she is on it. Yeah, another stunning snake from Joe. Vanilla enti leopard. 100% het clown. She's going to make some amazing clowns. Another female here that I used to have to get protective padding for. Oh, I'm only joking about that. But she's calmed down quite a lot. So this is my special pied. So she's possibly got yellow belly in her as well. I mean, really hard to tell, right? Because special has really taken all the pattern away. There's just a bit of pattern on the head here. There's a few little dots on her. But otherwise, she's pretty much all white. Typically, she's got small eyes too. Seems like special seems to do that in pied, creating these small eyes. But she's beautiful. 100% het clown. So I can make some pied clown combos. And if she's got yellow belly in there as well, that'll be amazing. But yeah, she's a cool girl. Like I said, she was just like the Leopard enti vanilla. Like, she was gunning for me. I think she got me at one point as well, which is a hard thing to do, but she achieved it. Caught me off guard. But she looks amazing. She's really calmed down. Really calmed down. It took me ages to get her feeding. And then one night I noticed she was just out and just looking. So I fed her. But she would only feed from inside her hide and drag it back in. So I'm always cautious with her. Just to give her time. Make sure it's dark in here. But she's been feeding really strong since. There we go, guys. She is a special pied. Possible yellow belly. 100% het clown. Okay, we're going to finish off on this guy. He probably won't stop moving. Oh, there's a little bit of kitchen towel in there. Well, ta-da. And you can tell, guys, this is the Batman, the one on the recent video that we were testing. We bought him as a Batman, possible het G-stripe, possible het desert ghost. And we managed to get him shed tested, thanks to Ben at Infinity Morphs. And he proved out to be het for desert ghost, which was my preferred option for sure. I do love G-stripe clowns, but I love desert ghost clowns more. And you can see that amazing head stamp that he's got, where it's like the sword or the dot on the back. And look at this crazy pattern. Now we know that Batmans have crazy pattern anyway. Look, with dorsal stripe, that when it gets to the tail, you know, the pattern's more reduced. There's only some small circles and a line there. But yeah, we know that Batmans have crazy pattern, but there was something a little bit more crazy about this boy, which is why I had a hunch he was definitely het for something. And he is the snake that I decided on straight away when getting back into the hobby. I knew I needed a Batman, I wanted a Batman, and I hunted high and low for one, and here he is. There you go, the Batman, 100% het for Desert Ghost, being paired at the moment to the enti Cypress, het Cryptic, and he's going to be doing a lot of work, to be fair. So that's it, guys. That's all of my current collection. I doubt very much I'll be picking up anything else this year. I mean, if I do, maybe just one more, but that's it. I want to focus on the snakes I've got. I brought in quite a few animals, you know, within a short space of time when you do it at the beginning. And it's nice now that everybody's settled in, everybody's feeding, everybody's doing well. That I can just focus on what I've got. Obviously, we've got eggs in the incubator now. And I'm doing all this with my son Marshall this time, and I'm taking him through absolutely everything from feeding the animals to cleaning the animals. Now we've been able to pull eggs, candle them, get them into the incubator. And the next stage coming when they start pipping and hatching, and he gets to see that Jurassic Park moment where babies start emerging. So it's really cool for me to be going through this again. Now I'm back into the hobby, but going through it with my son and taking him through it and seeing the excitement that he's getting. He's a massive dinosaur fan, you know. The closest thing we got to dinosaurs now is reptiles. For us, you know, it's snakes and ball pythons, but you got iguanas and lizards and all sorts, haven't you? That's what I love about reptiles, you know. Just so versatile and so many out there. So yeah, that's it. That's my collection, guys. I'd be really interested to know what was your favorite animal from the ones I showed. I'll be surprised if the hurricane clown combo doesn't come up multiple times, as that one seems to be an absolute hit when I post photos of him on Instagram. He's so visually stunning. I can't wait to make some babies with him. But within what I've got enough genes to be working with here. Got enough projects to line up and be clever with and produce some stunning animals again, which is what I want. I'm doing this to produce animals for me and for my son Marsh too, you know, just to enjoy. So guys, I want to thank you again for joining me on this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. I hope your animals are doing well. And I'll see you on the next one.